Hello guys, my name is Mike and today we are going to talk again about buttons. Today we're going to talk just about a regular button and some functions which they are provided from GTK, and we can use them to configure or make some change to our button. So now I'm here on the developer gnome.org GTK stable, and as you can see there are a lot of functions here, and maybe you are asking yourself why are there and how can I use them and so on. So let's start with the beginning. So the first function will be GTK Button new. I already make it because I don't want to write it again. You can use the pause or you can go back to my other tutorials to see how you are going to use CSS and so on. Now for a moment we don't need CSS. So the first function, it says GTK Button new. So GTK Button new says creates a new button widget to add a child widget to the button, use GTK container add. Okay, let's see. We create a window, it's not important, but here we created a button, and then we use the signal, the click it signal, and when we click the button, the GTK make quit is called, and program ends. A GTK container add, I use it to add our button inside to our window, and the same like how it says here. I run the program, and of course there will be a window with a button inside, this one, and when I click it the window is closed. That's it. That's the whole story about button new or empty button. Next one is GTK Button new with level. Here says creates a GTK button widget with a GTK level child containing the given text. So when we see here, this means we need a name. Okay, so I will change this function here, GTK new with level, and I will give it a name. I will say click me. Nothing's changed, only the function. I run the program, and now you see there's the same button, but this time has a text inside it, so you can know, or you can recognize it like being a button because it says click me, and it's more easy to detect it. So I will click on it and I will close the program. The next function is GTK Button new with mnemonic. I love this function. I mean you should always use it. And it says GTK Button new with mnemonic. It takes label name again, gchar, and says creates a new GTK button containing a label if the character and level are preceded by an underscore. We'll talk about this. They are underlined. If you need a literal underscore, okay, this is somehow clear, but maybe you are not sure if you understand it. I will copy the function name, I will put it here, I will let the same name, I will run it, and now watch. When I run the program, it's nothing different, okay, from the GTK level, GTK button new with level, because I didn't really use this function like I should use it. So I go out and watch now. I will use an underscore here. Now when I run the program, you will see that nothing happens. Well, where's the difference now? Well, the difference is here. When I will use the Alt key, my left Alt key, when I will press it, you will see here under the C letter another underscore line. You see it is there. This means now if I keep it pressed and I will hit the C key, the program terminates. The button will be clicked and the program terminates. That's it. And now I will press the C. and that's it. Bang, it's out. Okay, you can use every possible letter you want to. Maybe you want, let's use let's say L. See, so I will put the underline here. You see, it's there. I run the program. Still the same, no underline, nothing. But when I press Alt, the underline is there. Okay, wait. Let me make it bigger because this is a joke. So I will load the CSS. I will compile it. I will change the CSS style. Let's say button, because it's so. Let's call a font size should be 15 pixels, because we don't see nothing here. Now when I run the program, watch, when I run the program, you see the font is bigger. When I press now Alt, now you see the underline here, and if I hit L, the program will close. Bam. So this is about this function. This function, call it GTK Button with mnemonic. Okay, now we can move to the next function, which probably you already see it. It's about a GTK Button new from IconName. And this function says creates a new button containing an icon from the current icon theme. If the icon name is in no or broken, okay. So what that means? Let's copy it. Let's delete it because we are not going to use CSS now. So I will comment it out. Okay. So let's change this function. Icon name, and says we need an icon name and icon size. What this means, go back and says parameters is the icon name or null, and the size is the icon size. And here developers from GTK they provide us a hint and help, but not here. This I find it bad. I mean, I find it very bad because you need to know what this means, but you don't know here. Not, at least not when you come to this function. So I will start with a last parameter which says GTK icon size. I will open link in the new tab, and here we have those options which we can use them when we use this function. So let's take for example a size menu, which is the menu size. I'll use it here. Probably you don't understand now what's the meaning of this, but we will talk about that a little bit later. And now the first parameter. Well, first parameter says, let's say, says an icon name or a null. Okay, how do I know what icon names means? I can use an icon name like, I don't know. Well, there is something which you can use. You go to the same page. I go back to, you see, developer gnome arg GTK3 stable API index file, and I will search for it, and I will give a hint. Just use icon naming specification. Also icon naming specification. When I run it, I mean when I search it, and there is it. Well, I'm here. Now watch this. You have two options. One is the canonical document references here. You can use it if you click here, and you go all the way down here. You have the standard icons, action icons. So here are all those. But no, we are not gonna use those because we are gonna relate to our GTK. So I will go back to icon naming specification, and there's it. So what this means: icon naming guidelines, standard icons name. This is what we need. So let's copy this one and use it because it has to be a string. you know. Let's go back, an icon name or null, you see, constant gchar. So this means you need to provide a string name, not the name how you find it here. So now we have address book new, check with the second parameter, which is called a GTK icon size menu. Let's run it and see what's happened. There you go, we have an icon here, you see, there's the icon, there's the size of the icon. Okay, it's not so big because we used the menu size. Go back, we try another one. We have here a lot on options like dialog, D&D, from name, invalid, small toolbar, size menu, large toolbar. Let's take the one, GTK icon size large toolbar. I run it and it should be bigger. Yep, it's not so big. Anyway, let's try another one. Let's go, I know, let's say, okay, there's one, media playback pause, media play start. Okay, let's take this one, media playback start. Okay, we're gonna use this, run it, and there you go, we have the play button. Okay, it works fine. Okay, now we're gonna go, now we don't drop this, we drop it because we don't need it. We go back, and the next function is GTK Botany from stock. We were not gonna use it because it had been deprecated, science version, blah blah blah. Okay, it's dead in GTK3. Next one, GTK button pressed, says it's dead. Same story, deprecated size 2 version 220, and you need to use a signal button press event. I will go a little bit later inside, which means you need to create your own function. Yes, gboolean user function. So you need to call gsignal connect with button press an event, and then you pass your user function there, and there you go, you use button. We are not going to talk today about this because we didn't talk about events. We showed some ways about how we called the function gsignal connect, but we didn't talk about it too much, so we will not talk now because it's not the object of our tutorial from today. So I'm going to drop this, but you need to understand that all those deprecating functions, they are now used inside of GTK signal function, which they have their own signal, like this one, button press event, release event, can activate, and so on, challenge, whatever. Okay, the next one, release it should be the same, click it, button, enter, and so on. We don't need now. GTK, okay, GTK Button relief. I like this one. Let's see. I will copy this. I will go into, no, I won't change it. So what's about with this story? Okay, let's read it. Sets the relief style of the edge of the given button widget to style exit, the default style is okay, the deprecated value, okay, so it's not so much information, so this means you just can use it to see what's happening, because no, sorry GTK guys, but this is not a very surprising good documentation of this function. But anyway, GTK button set relief says it has it takes two parameters. The first one is a GTK button, so we need to cast it like almost everything in GTK button. Okay, we're gonna put our button inside, and then the second one is a GTK relief style relief. Okay, I love this. Let's go inside. Let's see what we have. I go back. So I went inside the function, and here I had two options to see what a GTK button is, and we already know what it is. And GTK relief style, we don't know, so I just go inside, and we have our relief style, which says there are three options. The first one, draw a normal relief. What's a relief? We'll see. The second one, a hard relief. They kill it. I understand why. I love CSS. And the last one, GTK relief none. Okay, so at this point we are gonna use this one and this one. I think this one is already standard. It's inside, is as default, but I'm not sure it should be at least. So I run it. What happens? What happens? Let's see what happens. Well, do you see something here? Because I don't. No. Nope. I don't see nothing. Okay. This means. Okay. So we don't know what exactly, but we can use the second one, which is none. There you go. Okay. Let's see now. I run it. We'll see what happens. Oh. Did he just kill my button? Nope. This is about GTK relief none. This means that border, that button, which you know it's still there, but you don't see it. Now it's the image there, and because of that image, you see it. Because before I show you, let me make some change here. So I will just go back. Wait, I just kill this thing. I will use only new. So I run the program again with the GTK relief none, and nothing is here. What happens? Wait, well, when I use my mouse pointer, when I go there where the button should be, and there you go, there's the button. I go out, I go inside, again inside. You see this? Well, GTK relief none means it somehow hides your button from your and you can just see it if you use your mouse pointer on it. So this is the story with GTK relief. Whatever. If you start to make a game or something where you need to hide some things, or I know we will probably talk later about this, you will see that you can take a good benefit of this. Okay, I will kill it. I will remove this function because we need to see our buttons. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next function says get relief. Okay, if you need to find which kind of relief you use it, you just call this function. You use it. Okay, let me see. Let's go back. Okay, I wasn't supposed to. Let's see. gchar. I know gchar pointer, and then we are going to copy this one. Sorry, this one. And says go back, and says we need the button. Okay, so GTK Button, I should use a printf or something, whatever, button, and then yeah, I still need it. Okay, whatever, let's print it. Pointer, let's see what's happened. Run it. I never use it, so I'm not sure. Using. Okay. Let's see. I see now. It's a little bit different because I need a relief style. Okay, we are not gonna use today. Instead, we can use this one. You have a label. Let's use this one, and the label. We were gonna create it here, new with label. We'll call it mic. Yes. Run it. Nah, don't do that again. Okay, you really need that constant. Whatever. So You see, I created a button, I call it Mike, and I found out the name of the button, the label name of the button. You see here, it says Mike. So this is about GTK get label. The same goes to set label. This means we have created a button called Mike, we print it, and then later we said we change it to GTK button and new label there is Michael. Sorry about that, Michael. Okay, and now when we are going to, no, I'm not gonna use the same story again. So this means I just call the function inside gprint this time. Now you won't see the button like the old name, which was Mike. You see only Michael, but here you see the old name was Mike and the new name is Michael. So this is about using GTK get and set label. GTK use from stock is dead, so it should not be used. We'll talk about this in something different style later. GTK set use stock is dead again. GTK set underline. Okay, well, what this means, let's say returns whether okay, I think it's an identifier from your button. So let's see, we go that out. Okay, you know what, let's see some, let's use an if statement. So it's a if GTK button get use underline GTK button, which if this one is true, okay, sorry about that, go back. Okay, if this one is true, then gprint, I know the, no, let's say mnemonic was detected. I don't know if it's a good or bad option or decision for this, but whatever. Else we'll say, no, uncopy this, too much to write, was not detected. Not okay, I'll run it, see what happens. Probably nothing. Probably was said yes, mnemonic was not detected. Why? Because we don't have it. Okay, so okay, I forgot this one to drop it. It's prints Mike there. GTK button new with label we have here. Okay, so label is not a mnemonic. Let's use it. Mnemonic, the same one. We run it, and mnemonic was detected. Yes, it works fine. So this is about this function. The next function says set use underline. If true, an underline in the text of the button label indicates that the next cache will be used for the non-natural key. Well, that's the story here. Let me show you something. Let's delete this part. Well, I run the program. I didn't use mnemonic, so when I press the Alt, nothing happens. Okay, I will create a mnemonic for our label. I will run it. Now, when I press Alt, like you already know, M is there. I will press M key. The program terminates. The button it's hit it or it's clicked and so on. But now, set use underline. Let's see this function. Okay, this means this function needs a button. Again, that's GTK button cast our button, and the second one, use underline true or false. I will use false because true already have it. To see what happens, false. Run it, and you see the underscore is there, and if I hit now Alt M, nothing happens because I just deactivate it. So this is about what means about the function GTK button set use underline. Well, the next thing which we're probably gonna use, let's see, go back, set buttons. Okay, again it's dead, this function we don't need it. Next one is dead. Alignment is dead. Alignment again, get alignment is dead. GTK button set image. Oh, I like this. This is okay. So let's see how we can use this function. For this, of course, we were gonna use regular button with no label inside and nothing. We'll drop this one, and we'll call this function. And this function says set the image of the button to the given widget. The image will be displayed if the label text is null. Just remember that. Or if always true image is true. You don't have to call GTK widget show on image yourself, of course, because once you call the button, then the image will be there. Once you call the window, the button and the image will be there, and so on. This means the first one is a GTK button. The second one says a widget to set as a medium. A widget to set as the image for the button or null to unset. Okay. This is interesting now, because what should I do now? Can someone explain me this? Nope. I don't see how I can fix this, but I know how can what do I exactly need here. Anyway, it says GTK widget image, so this means we need a function which returns a image, and the function which returns the image will need a GTK widget image. Okay, now as parameter for our function, the first one is our GTK button. Okay, GTK button, and the second parameter is the image. Okay, let's go here. I have an image here. It's called Linux icon wherever. I will get its name and I will use it like a string here, and I will run the program. Let's see what happens. I will get a warning because I don't use it. From a compatible type. Why is this happen? Oh man, I'm sorry. Because we need to load these files. New from file, and once that we have it, then we can call our button set image and use this image. Sorry guys, I'm just tired. So the first one is our GTK button, which is here where it should not. I just mix it, things here, wherever. And the second one is our image, which we already created here. And now when we run the program, we have a button with a image inside. Okay, it's not fitting, but that's another story. It's not for today, but what you need to know is that you know how to put an image inside the button. Okay, let's see. Get image the same from set. You just retrieve the image. Position is where you put the position same. You just need a label because it's the position of the image relative to the text inside the button, and so on. Show this image, and well, I think this is everything which you need to start to know and to understand about GTK button and the functions which you need them to use into your programs and so on. If there are some new things, I will come up in the future with some explanation. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Until then, please subscribe if you like it, and leave comments if you need some more explanations. See you.